welcome to the Paint Log. My name's Keith, and we're going to talk about my hobby progress this week. This week, I painted 2 Japanese-themed dinosaurs in color schemes you picked, and we answer the question, did Keith finish the Snake Priestess in time for his D&D game? But first, a completely random side tangent. It has been a crazy week in gaming. Bandai Namco released the story trailer for the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC for Elden Ring on a random Tuesday. If you're squeamish at all, I might hold off on watching it, but oh my god, is the lore, my brain is just exploding. And of course we knew about the Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake, but that also released today and is currently downloading on my Switch back there, and I'm going to play the absolute bejesus out of that once I'm done with this. Needless to say, I want to wrap this up quickly, so yes, I finished the Snake Priestess. The color schemes were picked by Noah and Speckled Shrooms, and I'm Keith of the Paint Logs. I'll see you all next time. Bye. I'm kidding, but we will try and make it short and sweet today. I kind of ruined the suspense of if I painted the Snake Priestess or not, and honestly, I'm just kind of proud of her. So let's start with her. Here she is in all her snaky glory. I believe last week I had the scales painted, the skin mostly done, and then the slight purple, just the base coat on her cloth. I definitely put in a lot of work this past week to get her ready for the D&D game we had on Sunday. And even though the boss fight didn't go exactly as I think anyone had planned the D&D game, everyone seemed to have a really good time. Over the course of last week, I focused primarily on her hair, as that was a large part of the model, and then the purple on the cloth, just a lot of glazes between the both of those to bring up the color and get a slightly smooth transition, or a transition that I'm happy with at least. I took a couple close-up pictures, one of her crozier, which I'm really happy with, particularly the beads and how the crystal came out down at the bottom. I think the color and the intensity really pop off of them, and the snakes at the top of the crozier are just like fun and whimsical, despite her like growling face and evil appearance. It's just funny to me. The second picture I took to showcase that she just has hearts hanging from her waist, which is metal, but you can also see a close-up of the skin and how I really feel like I got a really good transition. I consciously made a decision to try and use a dark shadow and work to a very, very bright highlight. And even though it looks somewhat undead, that's kind of the feeling that I was going for. I wanted it to be grayed out as if some of her like life energy was being sucked by the costume that she was wearing. The armor came out great as well, and that was just Vallejo 70.878 old gold with Seraphim Sepia from Games Workshop just washed over the top. It gives it a dull look, but the old gold really has this dull luster that some of the brighter metallics I've used can't replicate. Speaking of something I can't replicate, you guys have been amazing with the color suggestions thus far, and this is one of the minis I painted this week based off of viewer suggestion. This is a Ninja Pterodactyl from Reaper Bones Miniatures, and this color scheme was suggested by Noah Weideman 6056. This little guy was great to paint up because it used very similar colors to what I used on the Snake Priestess. So while it was much more simple in terms of overall complexity of the model, I got to use some of the skills that I had fine-tuned more in the Snake Priestess process. I say fine-tuned like I'm some sort of miniature painting connoisseur, but I really don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just a man that likes to play with little plastic toys. This next miniature was also made by Reaper Bones, and the color scheme was suggested by Speckled Shrooms. They gave me several options to pick between the 2 dinosaur minis, and so I went with fluorescent green, orange, and brown. Unfortunately, my local hobby shop did not stock a fluorescent green, so I got the 2 brightest greens they had instead. Please don't hate me, Speckled Shrooms. I'll try better next time. All jokes aside, I think both Noah and Speckled chose amazing color schemes, and I'm really thankful for your suggestions. Overall, I want to continue to challenge myself as a painter, and I've found that I have a tendency of not using very bright colors all that often, and so I'm trying to push myself in that regard. And I think this is a miniature that has a lot of bright colors on it, but doesn't come off as too overwhelming. And those are all the miniatures I painted this week. Again, it was kind of a short week. I put a lot of pressure on myself to finish the Snake Priestess for the D&D game, and then I just kind of wanted to relax with the mystery minis. And speaking of mystery minis, let's go ahead and pick one out for next week. I have the box right here. We'll give it a good stir and pick our mini. Feeling this one. Oh, you're not together yet. So I can't actually show you the miniature itself because it needs to be put together and glued, but I did happen to find a picture of it, and what are the odds that we pulled another samurai dinosaur? So go ahead and drop a comment down below with a color scheme that you think would look cool on the samurai dinosaur. I want to thank everyone who's made it this far in the video and for all the love and support you guys have shown over this painting journey of mine. Remember, if you liked what you saw, go ahead and hit that like button. It really does mean a lot to me. If you really liked what you saw, why not go hit the subscribe button? I put out a video like this every single week. But with that, if you don't mind me skedaddling out of here, Princess Peach is in dire need of some rescue from a paper man. So, I'm Keith, this has been the Paint Log. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!